Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Ignition Time and some astonishing new reporting that reveals some secret IRS files. We're going to talk about some never before disclosed IRS tax returns that have been leaked. Yes, never before seen records reveal how the wealthiest avoided paying income tax. I'm talking about wealthy individuals like the Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, like the Tesla founder Elon Musk, the former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and billionaire investors like Carl Icahn and George Soros. Welcome to this episode of Ignition Time, everyone. My name is Dr. Chhoda. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Let's start with this headline on your screen from CNN: How the richest people on earth avoid paying income taxes. This is some pretty unbelievable reporting. And by the way, we'll provide you with a link to this article and all of our resources in the description section below. Here's the fact. All of them paid little to no federal income taxes, which again is pretty unbelievable. And I'm sure you probably know that former President Donald Trump did the exact same thing. Paid little to no federal income taxes. Now, what is the big scandal here? The scandal here is that all of the actions from these individuals are perfectly legal. Bloomberg and Buffett, for example, have supported raising tax rates for the wealthy. Both have zero income tax bills. Bloomberg, during his run for the 2020 Democratic presidential nomination, actually tangled with Senator Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts over whether the government should tax extreme wealth in addition to income. All of this was explained in more detail in this article that you see on your screen from ProPublica. The secret IRS files, a trove of never-before-seen records, reveal how the wealthiest avoided paying income tax. Again, we'll provide you with the link to this article, so make sure you check that out. So what's the bottom line? And I'll quote directly from the ProPublica article. America's billionaires avail themselves of tax avoidance strategies beyond the reach of ordinary people. Their wealth derives from the skyrocketing value of their assets like stock and property. Those gains are not defined by US tax laws as taxable income unless and until the billionaires actually sell. To capture the financial reality of the richest Americans, what ProPublica did was they undertook an analysis that had never been done before. They compared how much in taxes the 25 richest Americans paid each year, and that was compared to how their wealth grew during that same time period, during the past year. The results show that these 25 people saw their worth increase a collective $401 billion. Yes, you heard that right. $401 billion from 2014 to 2018. They paid a total of $13.6 billion in federal income taxes in those 5 years, according to data from the IRS. Now that, even though that sounds like a lot of money, there is a true tax rate of only 3.4%. It's a completely different picture for middle-class Americans, wage earners in their early 40s, who essentially make money through a typical W-2 income. From 2014 to 2018, such households saw their net worth expand by about $65,000 on average. However, a significant portion of their earnings, because they were salaries, their tax bills were almost as much, nearly $62,000 over that 5-year period. Let's take a closer look at the ultra-wealthy. With this chart, again from the ProPublica article, you'll get a link to the ProPublica article in the description section below. Let's take a look at the wealth, income, and taxes for 4 of the richest people in the country from 2014 to 2018. Let's start with Warren Buffett, the chairman of Berkshire Hathaway. His wealth grew by $24.3 billion. His total income reported was $125 million because a lot of it was appreciation through assets that he had not sold. The total amount of taxes he paid was just $23.7 million, and that amounts to an effective tax rate of just 0.10%. Yes, you heard that right. That's 0.1% in terms of a true tax rate for the legendary Warren Buffett. Let's take a look at Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon. He's actually going to be stepping aside soon. But his wealth grew by $99 billion in large part because of the increase in the value of Amazon. His total income reported was $4.22 billion. A significant portion of that was his stock sales. He paid $973 million in taxes, which amounts to a true tax rate of 0.9%. 0.98%. By the way, this compares to 40%, 50% taxes that ordinary citizens pay. Let's take a look at Michael Bloomberg, the owner of Bloomberg. His wealth grew by $22.5 billion. His total income reported was $10 billion. He paid $292 million in taxes, and his true tax rate was 1.3%. And finally, let's take a look at Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla. $13.9 billion in wealth growth, $1.52 billion in income reported, $455 million in taxes paid, which amounts to a true tax rate of just 3.27%, which is pretty incredible if you really think about it. This essentially tells us that the American taxpayer, the average 401k holder whose wealth grows very gradually over a period of time, pays significantly more taxes despite tax advantages with 401ks because with these large multimillionaires and these billionaires, the difference is scale. Also, everyday Americans pay property taxes and use mortgages to buy their homes and have interest expenses. Now, this shows that the wealthy finance their lifestyles with loans taken against assets like real estate or stocks rather than realizing the value of an asset. They'll pay less to the bank in interest than they would to the government in income tax. In fact, Carl Icahn, the billionaire investor, gave an interview to ProPublica about his tax returns, and he said this: there's a reason it's called income tax. The reason is if you're a poor person, a rich person, if you're Apple, if you have no income, you don't pay taxes. And he said this: do you think a rich person should pay taxes no matter what? I don't think it's germane, meaning it's not relevant. How can you ask me that question? So folks, this is very interesting because the rich actually approach their income differently and end up with significantly more money. Now, a majority of the money that the rich have is indeed tied up in stocks that they own, so they effectively pay tax through their companies. However, the corporate tax rate of 21% is far lower than the top tax rate of 37% on income over $523,000 for individuals. Now, Jeff Bezos has said that the corporate tax rate should be increased. But again, the bottom line is most billionaires pay little to no income taxes compared to the average citizen. Now, what's interesting is during a recent Senate Finance Committee hearing, the committee chairman, Ron Wyden, who's a Democrat from Oregon, said the ProPublica report found that, I quote, the country's wealthiest, who profited immensely during the pandemic, have not been paying their fair share. He said this, and I quote, there appears to be a massive unauthorized disclosure of taxpayer records. The source of this information is unclear. Given the IRS's responsibility to protect taxpayer data, it has a responsibility to investigate the source of this disclosure. So the IRS Commissioner Charles Rettig has already said that there is an investigation ongoing with respect to the allegations that the source of the information in that article came from the Internal Revenue Service. In other words, why was this information leaked? Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. A lot of effort goes into the creation of these videos. We appreciate you watching our channel. Thank you so much for watching. The way you can support our channel is by clicking the like button, by clicking subscribe, by enabling notifications. I want you to know that we appreciate you, and we'll continue to work hard on this channel to bring you the truth wherever the truth might lead us. Thank you so much for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.